The market was unlike anything Jason had ever seen. Gigantic, towering structures made of luminescent metal rose into the alien sky, and the streets beneath were packed with beings from hundreds of worlds, their colors, shapes, and sizes so varied that his human mind struggled to comprehend them all. Yet the strangest part was how ordinary it all felt to them. For the alien denizens, this was routine, a marketplace where lives were commodities and survival depended on cunning, strength, or wealth. Jason had been taken from Earth in the chaos of an interstellar raid. His homeworld had been considered insignificant, a speck in the cosmic scale, and when raiders swept through the outer rim, humans were considered exotic curiosities. He wasn't the first human captured, but he was, according to the alien traders, the last one they had seen in centuries. They treated him like a relic, something rare, valuable, and almost sacred. He was displayed on a low platform, chained lightly, but not in pain. The traders whispered about the priceless human, speculating which collector, governor, or noble would pay a fortune for him. Jason looked around with dull eyes. Freedom was a word that felt as distant as the stars. He had come to accept that this alien world had no place for him as a free man. Chapter 1. Arrival of the Stranger. Then she appeared. A woman, humanoid but unlike any species Jason had ever seen. Her skin shimmered like polished copper under the artificial lights, and her eyes glowed faintly with a golden hue. She moved with an authority that silenced the murmuring crowd. Traders instinctively stepped back, and the alien buyers halted their haggling. Jason felt a flicker of hope, but he also felt instinctive caution. He had learned that in this galaxy, acts of kindness often carried hidden strings. The stranger approached the platform. She leaned forward, examining him carefully. Her gaze was not one of greed, like the others, but curiosity, and something else Jason could not identify. "I want him," she declared, her voice melodic yet commanding. "How much?" The chief trader chuckled, expecting her to haggle. "He is priceless. No ordinary buyer can afford this human." "I don't care," she said simply. "Buy him. He is coming with me." Chains rattled as the transaction was made. Jason blinked in disbelief. No one had ever offered him freedom. And yet, instinctively, he felt the familiar sense of unease. Nothing in this world came without a cost. Chapter 2. The Offer of Freedom. Later, in her private quarters aboard a sleek starship, Jason was finally alone with her. The walls were illuminated by soft blue light, revealing alien furnishings that were elegant and minimalistic. The stranger finally removed his chains. Jason rubbed his wrists, eyes darting between her and the environment, unsure if this was a trick. "You are free," she said. "I purchased you to release you. You do not owe me anything. You may leave at any moment." Jason froze. I don't understand," he stammered. Freedom had always been the goal, but now that it was offered, he found himself unable to accept it. He could feel every muscle tense with a strange determination. "Why would you do this?" he asked cautiously. "Because not all humans deserve to be enslaved," she replied. "And some deserve the chance to make their own choices, even against my judgment." Jason swallowed hard. The word struck something deep within him. His pride, his autonomy, his instinct to survive in his own terms, it all revolted against accepting freedom like a gift. Freedom, to him, had always been something earned, not purchased. "I can't leave," he said finally, surprising even himself. The stranger tilted her head. "You refuse freedom?" Yes," he admitted. "I don't know why. But leaving would mean giving up control over my own life. I can't do that." Chapter 3. The Reason Behind the Chains. The stranger studied him carefully, then smiled faintly. "Very well," she said. "Then you will remain. But understand this, you will not be a slave here. You will be under my protection, and I will ensure no one harms you. Yet you must learn to navigate this world, human. It is unforgiving." Jason felt a mixture of relief and apprehension. Protection was not the same as control, but in a galaxy where he was usually powerless, it was a compromise. Over the next several days, he observed the alien marketplaces, learned the rules, and even began understanding the hierarchy that governed this society. Despite his initial refusal to leave, he realized that freedom was not just a physical state but a state of mind. He could walk away at any time, yet he also chose to stay, navigating this strange world under the guidance of the mysterious woman. Her name, he learned, was Kaelira, a merchant of influence and subtle power. She could have enslaved countless beings, used her wealth to conquer planets, or simply discarded him, but she didn't. Her motives were her own, inscrutable, but they aligned with Jason's instinct for autonomy. Chapter 4. The Market Shadows. Jason's presence did not go unnoticed. Other buyers, curious nobles, and unscrupulous traders began asking questions about the human who refused freedom. Kaelira warned him, "There will be those who see you as a threat or a prize. Do not underestimate the desire of some to control what they cannot have." Indeed, it was not long before trouble arrived. A delegation of alien nobles approached the starship, claiming he was their property under interstellar law. They demanded he be handed over, and when Kaelira refused, they escalated to threats. Jason, who had been silent for most of these confrontations, stepped forward. Using nothing more than his wits, he identified inconsistencies in the nobles' claims, exploiting alien legal loopholes that Kaelira had only half noticed. With his guidance, she outmaneuvered the delegation, leaving them humiliated. It was then that Kaelira looked at him with a newfound respect. "You are not just stubborn," she said softly. "You are clever and bold. Few could have done what you just did." Jason shrugged, a little embarrassed. "I don't know about clever. I know I don't want to be controlled by anyone." Kaelira nodded knowingly. "Then you are truly free, in the only way that matters." Chapter 5. A Bond Formed in Choice. Weeks turned into months. Jason and Kaelira navigated the politics of the alien world together, learning from each other. He taught her about humanity, courage, unpredictability, morality, and she taught him the intricacies of alien economies, diplomacy, and survival. Their bond was not romantic, at least not initially, but something deeper. Mutual respect, forged in a context where trust was rare and power was absolute. Jason realized that freedom was not about walking away. It was about making your own choices, even when offered a shortcut to safety. And Kaelira realized that the human's refusal to accept her gift of freedom had taught her a lesson she had not known she needed. Even the most powerful beings could learn from the smallest ones, the ones who refused to be controlled, even under chains of gold and promises of safety. Chapter 6. The Market's Challenge. One day, the alien slave market reopened for a grand festival. Kaelira invited Jason, not as a slave, not as a guest, but as a representative of his own species. The nobles and buyers were shocked to see the human who had refused freedom walking beside Kaelira with authority and confidence. Whispers spread. The human who refused to leave, the one who stood beside Kaelira, he commands respect without chains. Some try to challenge him, attempting to purchase, coerce, or even attack. Jason handled each situation with calm intellect and decisiveness, and Kaelira allowed him to act independently. He realized that true influence did not require titles or wealth. It required courage, intelligence, and the refusal to be swayed by fear. By the end of the festival, he had earned the grudging respect of the market's most powerful figures. He was still human, still alone in a galaxy of thousands of species, but he had carved a place for himself through his choices, not someone else's decisions. Chapter 7. Conclusion. Jason never truly left the starship. He could have gone to the edges of the galaxy, claimed freedom, or returned to Earth, but he chose to stay. Not because he was forced, but because he wanted to explore this galaxy on his own terms, alongside someone who understood the value of choice. Kaelira, once a solitary figure wielding immense influence, had learned a lesson in humility and respect. A single human, with no fleet, no weapons, and no political power, had taught her that freedom was not about being released from chains. It was about deciding for oneself, in a universe that often demanded obedience. In the heart of the alien slave market, Jason stood free, not as a gift from someone else, but because he refused to surrender his will. And in that refusal, he became more powerful than anyone in that world could have imagined. The galaxy, as vast and unforgiving as it was, suddenly seemed smaller, more navigable, and full of possibilities.